Preacher Girls, and welcome to a very different and very special episode of the Preacher Girl podcast. My name is Pastor Sharo. If you don't know me, then welcome to the Preacher Girl community. You're going to have a great time today because we learn all about what it means to be a daughter of God, operating in your calling, because we believe once God calls you, no one can uncall you. Guys, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Not Christmas, not New Year's Day, not my birthday. But besides those three times, it is the most wonderful time of the year. And that is the time when we get to pour into the daughters of God in a new and exciting and incredible way. So most of you have already signed up for the Preacher Girl virtual conference or the in-person conference. And I just thought, because sometimes we never know what actually goes on behind the scenes or all that goes into making a conference a huge success, especially an in-person conference, we don't know exactly who does the work and what they're actually doing. All we know is that we show up, have church, have a good time, eat some great food, get our lives changed, and go home. But I thought maybe today I could give you a sneak peek into my office to show you what's happening, and maybe eventually give you some ideas about how you can plan your own major event, whether it's a birthday party, whether it's a service, whether it's a conference of your own, because who knows what God is calling you to. So if you're ready, these are my 10 best tips for having an awesome event. Tip number 1, it's the only time multitasking is allowed. So you guys know I'm not a proponent of multitasking. I don't believe in it. I don't believe it's a thing, because I believe in doing one thing very well and then moving on to the other. But sometimes when there's a conference going on, you have to wear so many hats and do so many different things. Like right now, you might hear a buzz in the background. That's my glow forge. And it's working right now, carving out leather pieces those leather pieces say things like chasing after Abba's heart. Those things are going on our handmade Preacher Girl journals, because we couldn't find a journal that was beautiful enough, had the right kind of paper in it, which is thick painting paper that would lay flat open. So what we ended up doing was purchasing high quality sketch pads and covering them in fabric, in felt, in leather, all hand covered. And then I'm embellishing them. For instance, this one is gonna have a button right here that clasps it closed, and it says, "I woke up today to terrorize hell," because we recognize it and we know it. And they're all gonna be handcrafted personally, and they're just part of the things that are gonna be available at the Preacher Girl conference this year. The Glow Forge is carving leather right now, and right there, you're gonna see on the chairs, we got Madison and Lanice, and they're helping us edit video, and they're helping Fanny edit the 35 speakers that are there for the Preacher Girl virtual conference. So they're finding B-roll, they're cutting video. Fanny trained them so that she could have some help. I'm so proud of her. And that leads me to tip number 2, delegate. There's no way that you could do it by yourself. And maybe you'll find that your friends, your neighbors, your family members, they can help you. I know some of you entrepreneurs out there, you've enlisted your husbands when you got to make 1,000 cookies, when you got to sew all night long and bead that dress. You've enlisted your friends, your husbands, your cousins. I know I've done it a million times in my life. Well, thank God I have a team that are so good at what they do. Do delegate, do find people that can do things better than you. I'm going to show you a little bit of what's going on in the church today, and we're about a week and a half away from the in-person conference right here at HopeNYC. Look at her face. She is not only my assistant and the one who takes your money if you register for this conference, but what are you doing?
I am making PG logos for the umbrellas. We're customizing.
She's weeding, and it has nothing to do with ganja.
Ganja angel.
Yeah, she's weeding. That's called weeding, right?
Yes.
Every PG bag this year, there's in your swag bag, one of the things is a super duper cute umbrella, and it has the PG logo on it. And yeah, that's the umbrella right there. It's in my favorite black and white, and it has the PG logo. Yep, because we didn't just want to give you an ordinary umbrella. It had to be a Preacher Girl umbrella. Yep, it comes for free in your swag bag. So let's go see what Andira is doing.
I am trying to visualize what the Hope Global Press Gallery is going to look like.
Let's go outside. So everything pretty much stays a mess until the event is over, and that's another tip I want to share with you. Don't get frazzled when you have a big event, when you're planning for a wedding, when you're planning for a birthday party, when you just have a project going on. Let the place stay a little messy, because every time you mess it up, you're gonna get a little bit stressed out. So understand that after everything's over, you'll be able to clean it all up. What are you doing?
I'm cricket pressing the PG umbrellas for the swag bags.
So all of these are done?
Yes.
Okay, and so what are you doing on the cricket?
So I just ran out of stickers, but I would open up the umbrella and I would put it on the black part, and then I would take the cricket, I would put it on top, and I would press the green button until it beeps.
And then it sticks the PG logo on the umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever Shiki's making inside, she's just using it to press on the umbrellas right now. This is our super massive plexiglass. This is our magazine. Remember our magazine that we stand in and take pictures of? Well, this is it. We're gonna redo the whole thing this year. And so all of this, it's a little bit scraped up. It's coming off, and we have a brand new sheet. Right here, see all this mess? If you were in church on Sunday, you didn't see any of this. But all of these trellises are gonna be part of our it's one of our experiences in our playground, and I can't tell you all the secrets, but it's a little walkthrough where your umbrella is going to come in very, very handy. That's the secret. So another really great tip for your event, if it's your business, your church, your child's birthday, whatever it is, stick with your theme. Once you have a theme, then it's easier to get the stuff. And I'm not just talking about the same old color of balloons, color of cake, but do things that are unconventional that go with your theme. If you are a business, then your brand is so important. Not just your logo. Your brand is not your logo. It's what you stand for. And Preacher Girl, we believe that whatever we do in Christ as our vision and as our mission has to be done with excellence. I want to overwhelm the daughters of God. That is the desire of my heart, to overwhelm them so they're so happy, so excited, just amazed by all of the things that are happening in their bags and that weekend as well. So with that theme in mind, whenever we think, let's put an umbrella in there, we think, what can we do to make that umbrella even more special? What can we do to personalize it? What can we do to make it even greater? Ruthie just walked by there because I want to show you what Ruthie's doing on the outside in just a minute. Oh, Marla. Marlon said he's just cleaned the food. Well, we do need guys to do what they do best. Just kidding. No, what are you doing, Marlon?
My husband Mike with this curtain.
Okay. So Marlon is running track, right? Not like running track, but he's running ceiling track, because we're going to convert this whole fellowship hall. We're going to convert this entire fellowship hall into a gallery. And that's what Marlon was doing. This is an entire bolt of black canvas, and we're going to use this bolt of canvas to transform this entire space into a massive Preacher Girl gallery. Girls, there are going to be all sorts of things to be given away in here, but not only that, there are going to be really inspiring stories, things to read, things to look at, amazing food. You're going to just have a great time. So that's my next tip. It's figure out what your goal is, not just your brand, not just your logo, not just your color scheme, but even if it's something as simple as your child's birthday party, what is your child's favorite thing? And don't just say, Peppa Pig. No, your child's favorite thing might be that accent. It might be the cute little dress that Peppa Pig wears, or the little house she lives in. And then think outside of the norm. Don't just go to Party City and buy, the Peppa Pig thing to stick on top of the cake. But think, what about Peppa Pig makes it so appealing to your child? And it doesn't have to be a costly thing. For us, it turns out to be a costly thing because it costs a lot to surprise and to make all of you feel special. But it's worth it. But you could use this in any aspect of your life. So in this space here, you can't see exactly what's happening, but this is usually a photo gallery right here before you enter our church. I've repainted the whole thing in my favorite gray color, and we've also blocked up the holes. Come walk in.
Sorry.
That's Michael.
Hi.
That's Mom. And that's Jerry. Yeah, so a lot of people are at work still, and a lot of people don't show up. But for the guys who... That's your last time, by the way. That have time during the day, they come, they help us. If you are a preacher girl and you live in my area, if you're a hoper especially, this is the Hope Ladies Conference, so we welcome you to come and help during the day. So we've painted it. The floors are painted black. We covered them because we don't want people to walk and trek on them before you get here for the conference. But this entire space is also going to be transformed into the gallery. So, and there it's more of an expo. Out here it's more of a gallery, and we have some things planned for you. This in here, I plan to, I hate giving all my secrets, but I'll give you one more. This is the evolution of Preacher Girl, and not just that, but the women of HopeNYC. And we want to make sure that the story gets told, because it's not an enterprise and it's not a business. It's a ministry, and it was birthed in the heart of God, and we want to make sure that everybody that walks in knows that. I think that God just favored HopeNYC women in such an amazing way, because we already have love, we already have fellowship, we already have the best time together. If you are in New York and you need a church where the women love each other, where we support each other, where we try our best to be friends with each other, and friends in need and friends when we're not in need, then I want to invite you to be a part of our fellowship. But I thought that the Lord was extra kind to HopeNYC girls when he started Preacher Girl, because not many churches can boast such a community of thousands of women all over the world that get connected to us every week, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through a podcast, whether it's through conferences like this, or whatever it is, wherever I go to preach. And sometimes I'm somewhere preaching almost every week of the year. I leave on Thursday to preach again, and I'm sure that we'll find girls who are preacher girls there, and I don't know them yet, but we get to know them. So I think that we HopeNYCers are just the luckiest on earth. And all of you who watch the Preacher Girl podcast by proxy and by connection, you're also triple blessed, because you got your sweet church too. So Ruthie probably staged this whole thing. Because she could have started at the bottom, you know. But no, this is Ruthie. She's going to start at the top. So Ruthie, what are you doing there?
We're gonna make a shiplap look on the outside of our facade.
So we're making a shiplap tile look. We're using tile, but it looks like wood when it's done. And it's because, one, HopeNYC is not just church, it's home. And to me, that just the wooden look, I love it. That aesthetic is in my office, if you guys know that. So I want to surround the doors with that same look, and I think that it might make a difference. We don't know yet. We'll see when we're done. But yeah, these are stick tiles, and we don't know how long they're going to stay up. But they're going to be here for the conference.
They are.
But this is our church, and the roof has blown off.
So me and Pastor Sharo is gonna do this. It's not gonna blow off.
I hope you know they're watching. Yeah, we're doing it. It ain't gonna blow off.
We'll make sure it stays.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna cover this whole thing in shiplap tile, and that's my other tip. Challenge yourself and push yourself beyond your boundaries. I don't know if she can lay tile or she can even do stick tiles. These are not vinyl tiles, these are metal tiles. And so we're gonna put them on the wall right now. It's gonna be beautiful. You see, we could just have a conference. This whole yard is gonna be transformed. The entire thing, you won't even be able to recognize it. But I always think about, why just have a conference when you can create something that is so memorable that people's lives are changed, and this event will mark the change in so many lives. That's what I'm praying for. That's what we've been fasting for. That's what the preachers who are coming are preparing for. They're preparing you for the rest of your year. Yes, for the rest of your life, but we want to make sure you make it through this whole year with all the motivation, all the inspiration, and all the anointing that you need to do what you're called to do. Because as women of God, you're going to find out, especially the next few weeks, that we're not just called to be the virtuous woman of Proverbs 31. You're going to find out that that word virtuous means way more than it says in Proverbs 31. But that you were called to be a warrior. You were called to fight in the valleys. You were called as a woman of God to take the battle, to be the one who takes the battle when someone is needed. And so we found ourselves doing the strangest things. Sometimes we're pouring concrete, sometimes we're laying tiles, sometimes we're sawing wood, sometimes we're designing huge costumes for parades, but it doesn't matter because the Lord gets to use these hands any way He wants to. Fanny is on the other side of this camera right now, and she documents everything, but she's the reason why the videos will even be available online. And then much of what we do here that weekend, she's responsible for that. There are people in their houses right now working. Pastor Danielle is putting baskets together for the guest speakers. Takesha is working on the menus. And I saw on Thursday before we start off with Shirley Temples for everybody and all kinds of yummy finger foods. I mean, who does that at a conference? But that's how Takesha is taking it up a level, and she's doing all our menus. Audrey is working on things. Lois is working on things. Shania, oh my gosh, let's not even talk about Shania. Top to bottom, that girl A to Z is working on every handout, every workbook, every preacher synopsis, every poster you'll see hanging, and you'll see a lot, every sign that's going to be made, everything. She is stuck in her computer doing that 24/7. And besides the gentleman you've seen, we have Brian who's setting up the entire conference online for those of you who are online only, and that's going to be run by one person this year because the rest of us are going to be inside of this conference in person. Now, one of the things I really want you to know, it's so important that you become part of the in-person conference, is because not just we get to fellowship together and we get to be together in the same space. Let me go in there, it's a little less noisy. If you've signed up for the in-person conference, don't be afraid of missing things in the online conference, because you might say, but I wanted to see this person or that person, but if I'm here at the conference, I'm going to miss it. We're going to make sure that every time there is a service, every time there's anything very significant that you need to be at, which everything's going to be significant, but like on Friday during the day, we will be in the playground, so you can still choose to watch the conference while you're in the playground doing all the amazing things that we have planned for you. And during service times, there will be no broadcast on the live summit. So it's going to be dark on the summit during our service time, so you don't miss any of our speakers. Further, all day on Thursday, when we do not have the conference in person, the conference is going on online. So a lot of our speakers are going to be on Thursday during the day. No speakers online at 7 p.m. because we'll be having church upstairs live and direct for those who are in the in-person conference. So if you are registered to be here in person, don't be afraid of missing out. We're going to make sure there are screens everywhere broadcasting when we're not having services, so that you don't have to miss any part of either conference. So you're going to get both of them thrown in. It's just going to be a marvelous time. I'm excited, and I want all of you to be here, to be a part of it, not just because there's a lot of work going on, but when was the last time you did something really, really, really life-changing for yourself? When was the last time you made a decision to do something that would benefit you? And I know we're very giving people. We all, as moms, as daughters, as sisters, we want to take care of others. But sometimes it's very, very okay to just take care of yourself for a minute. And I can't think of a better way. I can't think of a more incredible investment, a more substantial and life-giving way to spend $150 than 3 amazing days right here at HopeNYC for the Women's Conference. For those of you who are wondering about the times, we start registration here at around 5:30 on Thursday, but the services don't start until 7. So you're free to come and join in at the service times. And if you don't get here in time for registration, we'll be here to make sure that you get registered before you go up, so you can collect your swag bag, your t-shirt, and all your goodies. on Friday, we start at 9 o'clock. You come in for a giant breakfast. It's a giant, buffet style breakfast. And right after breakfast, we have a few workshops for you. Some of them are about things like Bible journaling and things that you're just gonna enjoy. Then we go outside to the playground. The playground's gonna be set up while we're in our morning session. By the time we come out, it's gonna be all ready and waiting for you to have a great time. For those of you who don't like play, you just wanna sit down, there's a relax room, there's a stretch and meditation space, there is a picnic area. There's something for everybody. Plus there'll be so much in here to just look at, to take in. You're gonna love that. That's Friday all day. And then on Saturday in the morning, we'll have our last service. That's the one where I'll be preaching. Please come to that. Even if you can't come to all of them, pick one. And I believe the Lord really did give me a word for our women especially, and that includes all of you Preacher Girls and all of you HopeNYC girls. And so that's Saturday morning, but the entire conference ends in such a bang. I want you to know that we have, for the first time, entire runway. We've had a fashion show before, but this year Tawana Gosley of the House of Madison, she is Madison's House of Style. She's doing our fashion show, and it's the runway is the length of our sanctuary. And I saw them just practicing a little bit on Sunday, and it's gonna be amazing. It's really gonna be the highlight. The ticket for the fashion show is $50 by itself, because there are people who may not want to come to a church event but want to come to that. That's how much they're going to pay to come to just the show. But it is included in your registration fee. Your free ticket comes in your swag bag for that fashion show. That's how we end the whole thing on Saturday afternoon. Right at noon is when we're looking to be done. So I hope that the tips that I've shown you a little bit of the background, the sneak peek of what's going on. We're still a week and a half away. Next week is gonna be our big push week. There's gonna be a lot more activity happening, and as people get off of work this evening, I'm sure more people will come in. There's construction going on in the bathrooms. There's construction going on upstairs. There are people doing things in every one of the nooks and crannies of the church, getting ready for you, including planning menus and laying out things and buying things and just a lot of things. So anyway, let me show you one more thing and then I'll close up. All our speakers, it's color coded, so we know who went, who didn't go yet, who still has to go. We know who we paid, who we didn't pay yet, who we have to pay, things like that. Everything is laid out from our scavenger hunt to our giveaways. Everything has to be systematic, but you have to be able to see it. Don't trust your memory. Don't trust just your brain to be able to recall small bits of information. Write everything down. Put it in a chart, even if it's not the pretty chart. Please don't waste time coloring and drawing and putting flowers on it. It is irrelevant. Write it where you can understand it, where it makes sense to you, and that you can have it at a quick reference so you can answer certain questions without having to call somebody up. It is golden. Well, that's it. That's a sneak peek behind the HopeNYC Women's Conference / Preacher Girl Summit. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that if you have not registered yet, that you will sign up. I will close by telling you this. It's only pertinent if you're watching this before the conference. Now, most of the times you get to register with a credit card, but I want you to know that you can call the church office at 718-848-2810, and you can let us know that you'll bring a check by, you'll pay cash, you'll pay in parts until next week if you need to do that. Also, you can cash app the church at HopeNYC Church. That's our cash app handle, $ HopeNYC Church. Just make sure in the memo you put Women's Conference or PG Summit, either one of those things, and we'll make sure that your registration gets recorded. So there are many ways to make sure you're registered, and we're running out of time, so if you haven't done so yet, do so now. I hope I changed somebody's mind. If you were thinking about not coming because you're working, I'm telling you, it's worth the day off. Oh, one more really important note: free childcare. Yep, I said free childcare. What am I gonna do with my babies, Pastor Sharo? Well, during every service, HopeNYC is going to provide free childcare for you so you can enjoy the service. During the day on Friday, while we have the playground, you let them play with you. You can't let them run wild, but they can be with you if you don't have someone to watch them at that time in the playground with you. So your kids are not going to be a problem at the the HopeNYC Women's Conference, Preacher Girl / Preacher Girl Summit. I hope you had a good time with us today. I know it's been a little bit different. And I did do that makeup tutorial, I promised you. I'll probably put it on the Instagram or Facebook page tomorrow, all right? So, but I thought that this was so important to let you see a little bit of what happens behind the scenes when we plan such an amazing and exciting event for you. I love you. God bless you. Don't you ever forget that you don't need a pulpit. You just need a message. And this conference is going to show you a million ways to preach your message without ever stepping on a pulpit, because if God calls you, no one can uncall you. Bye, friends. Type stuff. Talk to me. We're still talking. I'm still there talking right now to you. If you want to register, just tell me. I'll register. Ada.